Welcome to another Demarcation Media Mega Construx review. Mega has made a ton of Mark 7 Spartans, and I am absolutely all for it. We've done 2 videos comparing all the different Mark 7s, and the library of different colors and styles keeps expanding. But Mega's also been putting a lot of effort into their Anubis Spartans as well. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be running through all of the Anubis Spartans that we've gotten so far and trying to find out just like which one's the best, which one's kind of the worst. Is there even a best and a worst? I don't know. That's what we're going to be finding out today. So without any further ado, let's jump right in. This guy right here was one of the first ones that released using Mega's new Anubis helmet mold. Now, something I didn't know the first time I did a Anubis comparison was that this helmet is actually in Halo 5, and it looks very similar. The Infinite version is a little bit more blocky, a little bit more simple, but I think that's to its advantage. So it's not technically a new helmet for a Halo Infinite, but Mega had not ever made one until Infinite. So this was one of the first one. This guy comes in the skull control helmet, which is unfortunately a very hard to get set now, but he's really nice. The combination of silver and dark blue is fantastic. The print on the head looks great as well. And then we have kind of a lighter blue visor to be paired with the darker blue of the lower legs and lower arms. It's really, really good. I like it. Very clean, very simple. No print on the chest plate, which is a silver Mark 7 chest plate. But honestly, I think that's kind of fine. I don't know that it needs it. And even in game, the Mark 7 chest plates don't always have print across the front. And the interesting thing about this guy is that if you have the Spartan that is me, you can then swap the lower arms and lower legs to make an all silver Spartan and an all dark blue Spartan, which is pretty darn cool. This next one also came fairly early on in the Infinite line. This came from the Banished Ghost Hijack. It was the kind of UNSC figure there. And the interesting thing about this guy is that when he was released on the box, it showed him having Mark 7 arms and also, I believe, or Mark 7 shoulders, I should say, and also, I think, different leg armor, and he came with this instead, which I'm honestly fine with. I think it's cool having the reach parts mixed in there, but it was just odd that they had those rendering errors. The head looks pretty darn good. The green is a little off from the plastic green, but it's not too bad. He actually does have print on the chest plate, a little bit here and a little bit up there, which is cool to see. That chest plate add-on for the Mark 7 is also just really cool. He has the, I think that's a Grenadier belt from Halo Reach. I could be wrong. It's the one with all the shotgun shells. And then most of the rest of his stuff is like Mark 7-ish. Actually, the lower legs are interesting because they have the marbling in it, and the marbling is really heavy on this one and not so much on that one. So it almost looks like he has 2 different lower legs when in reality they're actually the same color. This one has more mix of the brown gray and one has just more of the tan. So we kind of just went up in the chonk factor here. This guy has the really beefy chest plate, the one that my Spartan uses, and then he has the security shoulders, double security shoulders, which is really cool. It creates a very nice, just big silhouette. The color pairing here is pretty cool too. A lot of people call this guy the McDonald's Spartan. He doesn't quite have the McDonald's colors. The Series 11 operator, who has also been called McDonald's Spartan, is a little bit more close to McDonald's colors. I actually think this color pairing is really cool. I think that the dark red and the yellow pairs really nicely. The helmet is done pretty well. Again, the yellow doesn't quite match the plastic color, same as with the green guy that we saw, but it's close enough. I don't really have any major problems with it. Back, just Mark 7 stuff. He's a fairly simple figure. He came in the blind bags. I think this was Halo Infinite blind bag series 3. I think this guy came in 3. And I actually got a couple of him. He's a good figure. He's great for pop and swaps, especially since the first Spartan customizer pack had yellow armor as well. So yeah, just a really good figure. I really like the chonky silhouette. It's just good. Keeping with the blind bag theme, I think this was Infinite Series 4, introduced a glow-in-the-dark Anubis, which is pretty cool. Pairs well with the glow-in-the-dark Gungnir from not the Escape helmet, the Last Man Standing helmet. It's just a cool concept having the glow-in-the-dark figures as like the infected figures. We now know that the infection mode in Infinite does not use this kind of green zombie look, but it's really cool nonetheless. I really like the silver for the lower arms and lower legs. The paint on the helmet is actually glow in the dark as well. Green visor is really nice. And this particular Spartan is actually a female because that chest plate is female specific. So it's kind of cool to see the little bit of variation there. And then the shoulders are great pieces that we really don't see them used often enough. And then just pretty standard parts for the rest of the figure, but the glow in the dark effect is so cool. It really doesn't show up well on camera. You kind of just have to see it in person, but they can glow pretty strongly when you get a flashlight on them for a bit, turn all the lights in the room off. You're going to get a really cool little light show. So this is kind of cool. This figure right here is essentially just a uninfected version of the Spartan that we just looked at. It's literally all the same armor all the way through, but instead of the glow-in-the-dark color scheme, we've got a dark gray and yellow, which is a pretty nice pairing. I do kind of wish that we had gotten a different color since we did get a yellow one once already, but I'm not complaining too much because there is actually a difference. The visor for this guy is kind of gold. The visor for this one right here is actually silver, which is cool. And again, this is a female Spartan, so you can't swap this chest plate onto a male Spartan. And we've got those same shoulders, pretty much same everything. It looks really good. It's cool to have the infected and uninfected versions. I think that's really neat. A little bit before 343 introduced the Fiesta game mode into Halo Infinite itself, Mega released a helmet that was called Fiesta that included this guy right here. This is such a random, wacky mix of things, and I kind of love it. Like the asymmetrical look is super cool. I love the asymmetry, but then it's kind of balanced a little bit by the red for the legs and the red for the helmet, and I was so happy to get a red Anubis helmet. That is so cool. The coloring doesn't quite match the dark red. It's a little bit brighter, but it's not as bright as the bright red. So that's kind of a little bit of a bummer, but it's not hugely noticeable on this figure. It uses the chunky chest plate again, but then just Mark 7 shoulders. And I have no idea if this is based on the coating. I have not seen anything that really looks like this. So I think it was just kind of Mega going, hey, there's coatings in the game. Why don't we just see what we can come up with? And I'm totally on board with that. I think that's great. I would have loved a little bit of gray print on the chest, but that's a little bit of a big ask since it is from a helmet set, and those were really small and really affordable. I don't think this guy's really that hard to get because I think that the Fiesta helmet is still decently easy to find. I say decently easy, and that kind of means that you don't have to pay ridiculous prices for it. It's easy to get it at normal price, but you typically do have to get it online. Yeah, I really like this, and the pop and swap potential for this guy is very high. Speaking of coatings, the Bizarre Battleground Customizer Pack introduced the white Anubis helmet in tandem with the kind of sand green armor to make the stone green armor coating. Now, the stone green in the box actually comes with a Mark 7. I actually forgot to put that Mark 7 in my comparison video, but that's because mine is really poorly done. The visor is awful, and it's just really bad to look at. This is what I did to kind of get around that because the Anubis helmet looks really nice, and the stone green is an interesting color scheme. The whole solid green topped with white is just, I don't know, it's cool. The chest plate here is one of 3 that you get in the set, but I chose to go with this one because I really like it. Those shoulders as well, those are the ones that I chose to go with. Yours might look a little bit different. The white on the helmet is a little bit translucent, but not too bad, and then the visor is done in gold, and it looks pretty nice. It's a good combination. I really like it, and I was very happy that the Anubis looked good in the package, so I could use it to make stone green because I do like the coating. So yeah, yours may look a little bit different than this. This is just kind of my interpretation. Halo Infinite Blind Bags Series 5 introduced the Action Block Anubis, another kind of interpretation of a coating, which I do find a little bit odd because this coating is an interpretation of Mega's Faithful versus Fallen figures, and for some reason they didn't use their Faithful versus Fallen colors. Like, we've got the colors, and this is the accurate color to in-game. Mega has done this. I mean, this coating is based off of this color scheme, but for some reason Mega chose to use that blue. I'm not complaining because it's a nice blue, but I just find it odd that they didn't use the same colors. And also, they didn't use the same silver. This silver is so shiny. Their newer silver is more dull. It just would have been nice to see a more faithful recreation. So like one that you could drop the Mark 7 in with the Faithful versus Fallen figures and it would not look too out of place. But as it is, it's a pretty darn cool figure, and it also uses the new like groin armor, which is all one piece. It's like a waist piece and groin armor all in one, which is, I think it's cool. It covers more area. It looks a little diaperish from the back, but then again, the Spartan groin armor tends to look a little bit diaperish anyway. Helmet looks pretty nice. I would say it's done pretty darn well. The blue obviously isn't like metallic-y like the plastic is, but it matches pretty darn well. And it's just a good figure. I really like it. It also includes a scrap cannon. So he's one of the first figures to use a scrap cannon, which is nice. And it's great to get more Mark 7 pieces in different colors. I just wish that it would have been more accurate to the original figures. Kind of the most recent addition is this guy right here, the Scorpion Punch Anubis. I say kind of because the Mongoose Outrider set was supposed to have released a long time ago. It was supposed to have released before Halo Infinite Series 5, but it didn't, and it's only just now that this set is actually appearing in other places like Amazon. I'd say appearing in other places as if it's in stores, but that's not really what's happened. Amazon got a listing and a wave of stock for the US. So I'm hoping for a restock, and I'm hoping that the other countries will be able to get it as well, because this is a fantastic figure. I absolutely love it. It's using the same chest plate as what I have on my stone green guy. Same shoulders actually too. That more sleek lower leg, and then it's got a prosthetic leg that's from, I think that's from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles line. I could be wrong. It could be a Terminator piece, but it looks really good. And then we have the Scorpion Punch arm, which is technically more accurate to the game because the game has a more orange color. And something that I actually just noticed while I was getting ready to film this is that these are two different oranges. Like Mega's normal orange and then this orange is two different colors. So that's kind of interesting. At least these two guys are different colors. That's kind of interesting that there's those two shades of orange. The helmet has a purple visor. So stinking cool. That just completes the look. Honestly, just having an all gray guy with the purple visor would have been cool, but I am on board with the Scorpion Punch look just because I love the asymmetry of it. I think it's great. The print on the front of the head is pretty good. Some of the darker gray is a little bit fuzzy. Like the front mouth section is a little bit fuzzy, but it's not horrible. And since it's all low contrast, it's not super, super noticeable. Same, just Mark 7 parts as what we've seen before. But yeah, this guy really stands out in the whole lineup and might be my personal favorite. This last one is a little bit weird. This helmet came from the Decisive Engagement armor pack, and I did not have it on any of the Spartans. You could pop it over to this, but actually that's the different color of orange. Interesting. But yeah, so I didn't have one of the Spartans from the pack actually using it because there was other helmets that I wanted to use. So I actually cobbled this guy together from an extra Halo Heroes Series 13 Master Chief, an extra Garrison Pack Spartan, and then the helmet. So this is kind of the result of that. And he's not an official Spartan, but you could totally make him yourself if you have all the right pieces. And I really like the pairing. The green from the Chief paired with the green of the visor, which I think the green visor was a very nice choice. It's just really cool. But yeah, this to me is not like an official figure. Even the helmet was like You could kind of put it on, you could kind of not. Kind of the same as the stone green guy, but this is what I came up with, and it's a little bit more wild and does not include many parts from the set itself. Well, there you have it. That is all of the current Anubis figures from Mega. I hadn't realized just how many more we had gotten, but I was looking back at my original video and there were only 4. There were 4 of these guys, and now we have, how many is here? 9? 9 of them? Technically 10 if we're counting the dude with the orange helmet as well, because some of you guys might have this guy as your main figure from that set. So yeah, it's really cool to see how many Mega has done. And honestly, this helmet, I like it almost as much as Mark 7, if not more. I really wish I could get it in Infinite, but you have to pay for it. I don't even know if I could get it right now. Anyway, yeah, it's really cool. I really like it. I love what Mega's been doing. The amount of variation here is huge. Like, none of them look alike. It's just really good. So this right here is my ranking. This guy takes the #1 spot easy. The silver and blue guy is a very, very close second, just because that's just such a great color pairing. Stone green, for how different it is, and also the green color used and the white is fantastic. So he's in the #3 spot. Action block is in #4 because, I mean, it's a figure based on a coating based on a figure. So it's just kind of a weird paradox of a figure, and it looks really good despite being pretty inaccurate, but you know, it still looks good. That guy right there, the Fiesta Anubis, he comes in the 5th spot just because he's so, I don't know, he's so bright and in your face, but also he's got such cool parts, and it's just really, I don't know, he's just good, and he has that interesting brighter orange. I don't know, it's cool to me. I really like the dark red. Green guy comes in the 6th spot. It's just a very Halo looking Spartan. It just is, and it has a more gritty look, so that's really cool. 7th spot, wait, did I say 5th? I'm losing track here. What? Yeah, 7th spot is the glow-in-the-dark Anubis, because glow-in-the-dark, I mean, how can you go wrong with that? 8th is the chunky guy, not because he's too bright or whatever. I just feel like he's a little more plain than the other ones. And then the last spot goes to the escape helmet one. That's more just me. I don't feel like that one is as interesting to me as some of the other ones, but I don't think there's anything actually wrong with it. It's just at the end of the list purely because of my own opinion. So which one of these do you have? Do you have multiples of them? Which one is your favorite? How would you rank this list? Let me know down in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.